What a nice, beautiful spring day. I just love coming out here and walking around looking at all the flowers blooming. This here is a cherry bush that I planted for dwarf cherries. It's not a tree, it's a bush. But the cherries are supposed to be edible. This is a tulip, even though it doesn't look like it, but it is. There's lots of different kinds of tulips here. I just get assortments of tulips from Breck's, and it's easier than picking out. But here's a spot where I could put something, isn't it? These are alpine strawberries. These are loose strife, just coming up. I think the birds really like these strawberries, which is, I hope I've got that right, what that plant is. But here is right now it's kind of dry out here. The ground is really dry. But look at, this is the benefits of having all this organic material on top of your soil. Look at that, how wet it is in there. And yet, this here is what the soil is on top. Look at how dry and powdery that is. But underneath of this organic material, which is a combination of just leaves and bark tips, it's nice and wet. It's dripping wet down in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, it's just dripping wet in there. That's what protects your plants when it gets dry. It dries out last underneath. This is winter alkanite here. It's all done blooming. This is just the leaves. It looks like a lion's mane, I like to say. And these are tulips. These look more like tulips because it's got that nice cup shape. This kind here, it spreads out into more of a regular flower. Like these here. See, they spread out more. Those are tulips too. They just don't have that nice cup shape. I don't know, I kind of like these a little better. These are crocuses when they're done blooming. And you can see that they're crocuses by the white stripe on the leaves down the middle. Otherwise they just look like grass. Oh, here's a purple tulip. Look at that. And this here is a hyacinth that's done blooming. I need to come out and cut it down. Cut off not the leaves, but the flower. You just cut off the flower so that it can't make seeds, because it takes so much energy out of the plant. This here is that bee balm I just planted a couple days ago. It's still wet down there, but I didn't water it at all. But I think it's getting to be that time of the year where everything that you transplant from now on will need to be watered. And it helps putting that mulch around there. This is dogwood right here. I keep cutting it down every year so it doesn't take over the flower bed. You can see how dry this soil is right here on top. But down there underneath of the mulch, it's nice and wet. That's just grass here I'm pulling up. And this is an oak leaf hydrangea. I didn't really think the blooms were that spectacular, but I haven't dug it up yet. I just keep cutting it down. I don't know what this is here. I keep planting so much stuff here. It's got a woody stem. It's just now growing leaves. So I don't know. These are hardy lilies. Here's a ground cover right here that I planted here a few years back. This is creeping myrtle. That's just a weed you can't keep out. Here is more of this Goldilocks, I guess they called it. Creeping Jenny. Right here. This is catmint. I don't know whether it's the Junior Walker's high or low or whatever, but it's catmint. Look at how these lilies have spread in here. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Must be a dozen of them growing in there. They're just the same bulb. This is a young one right here. Now this one won't bloom this year because it's so young, but you keep letting the bulb get bigger, and it will bloom eventually. And here's a peony. Some of these peonies I'm not too happy about, or I'm tired of, I don't know. There is one peony I've got. It's got a yellow center. It's real pretty. And here's two daylilies. Not daylilies, hardy lilies. With some grass in there. I'm going to pull that grass out. And this is a daylily right here. As you can see, my bird bath is really low. Only about as deep as my fingernail. But this morning, I saw a sparrow in here splashing around just like a robin does. Now, I've never seen sparrows in there splashing around, but maybe when the water is really low like that, that's what they like. Huh. This is creeping phlox subulata. I can't pronounce that stuff. This here is honeysuckle, and I planted that a few years back, and I just made a short video of me planting that, a 1-minute video of planting this honeysuckle right here a couple years back, and how it's growing now. Here's more of the honeysuckle I planted. I planted like one at each post. And, well, one at those posts. And then over here, I planted trumpet vine. And you can see right here is just starting to grow for the spring. I think it'd be nice if we had like trumpet vine and honeysuckle growing on this swing here. And right now there's just mulch in this brick or concrete block, but I'm going to plant annual vines in here, like moonflowers, and to have them guide them up over the swing. Here's some succulents I've got planted in here. This is grape hyacinths and some small daffodils. You can see the succulents coming up, or the sedum coming up all over the place in here. There's more grape hyacinths. And this is more that loosestrife. It's farther along. It has tall yellow flowers. And I've made a video about that too. There's a bunch of the sedum in here. Right down in here I've got a rose planted. We'll see if it comes back this year or not. Daffodils are about done. Poppies are going to be next. You can see they're starting to bloom right there. Here's the poppy blooms right there. There's one there. On the top, this ground looks so dry. Probably have to start watering here pretty soon. And this is a lemon lily. It's a daylily. This is a hardy geranium over here. This is the true geranium. Pelargonium is the other one that we think of. Oh, and here's some Sweet William getting ready to bloom. Look at that. Sweet William is a biennial, and I started it from seed. And this is just one plant I started from seed that's growing like this. What are these blue flowers? I don't know what those blue flowers are. Isn't that something? Isn't that something? I don't know what those blue flowers are. I planted a bunch of wildflowers in here. Huh. And this is lamium. It's blooming. This is the yellow. This is the creeping Jenny. Little creeping myrtle. A lot of people call this a nuisance, and I've pulled up lots of it because when it's not blooming the rest of the year, it's not too pretty, and it takes over everything else. Here's some more poppies I moved over here. And here is some of that yellow archangel lamium. I think some people call it dead nettle, but I don't want to call it that. Oh, there is that grape hyacinths. These, I believe, are called Grecian windflowers. This is a low-growing privet bush. It doesn't never get that high. It's woody. Here's hostas just coming up out of the ground. There. I might dig those up out here because I don't actually want them in here because they'll take over. All the wildflowers won't be able to grow in here. I've been digging them up. There's a big bush right there too. I dug it out. Everything is starting to grow. These are coral bells. Look at new growth on there. Here's some of those tulips. They look almost like carnations. These little purple flowers are vinca minor. They bloom this time of year. This wild columbine just getting ready to bloom. Not like that hybrid, fancy hybrid stuff out front. And this, look at all the columbine here blooming. I'm going to put it out front, but it's doing so well, I hate to move it. Lupines. These are called lupines. They have big flowers, and they'll get a lot bigger. I think the plant gets a lot bigger than this. But, I started both of these from seed. I planted a bunch of seeds in this whole area here, and that's all that's still here. Here's a hardy lily back in there. That's a tree lily and it gets really huge. It smells so good. Last year it was so tall and the blooms were so heavy that it was hanging clear out here in the path. And there's some more over there. I'm kind of anxious for this clematis to start blooming. Look at all the blooms it's got on there. Over here too. There's honeysuckle in here, and there's blaze climbing rose, and there's also morning glories that keep falling here and back every year.